Noah noticed it before anyone else. His fries were lined up in a neat row. Then his hand paused in the air. He looked at his mom and whispered, "Noah, Mom, why are your fingers shaking?" "Lena, I am okay, sweetheart. Just eat." They sat in a bright diner with red booths and clean white light. Families chatted in soft voices. A waitress carried plates with careful steps. Lena had picked this place because it felt calm. She wanted one steady breakfast before school. But her thoughts kept drifting to the letter in her purse. New rules from her landlord. New fees. A deadline that felt heavy. "Noah, are we moving again?" "Lena, not if I can help it." Noah reached across the table and touched her wrist. "Noah, I can share my room. You can take my bed." "Lena, you already share everything, my brave boy." She glanced toward the window. A familiar truck pulled into the lot. Not a chase, not a scene, just a person from her past who never accepted no. Her stomach tightened. She did not want Noah to hear grown-up talk. At the counter sat two bikers in leather vests. Big shoulders, quiet faces. They drank coffee and spoke low. Their bikes were parked outside, shining in the sun. They looked like men who had learned patience. Lena remembered a simple sign from a community safety class. A quiet way to ask for help without making a fuss. She lifted her hand near her shoulder. Palm forward, fingers open. 1 second. Then she lowered it and picked up her fork. "Noah, Mom, are you waving at someone?" "Lena, just saying hello to the day." One biker noticed. He did not stare. He only turned slightly so he could see her without being obvious. His friend followed his glance. They did not rush. They watched like they were reading the room. The truck door closed outside. Footsteps came in. A man entered with an easy smile that felt too practiced. He scanned the diner and spotted Lena. "Man, Lena, there you are." Lena kept her voice low. "Lena, please, not here. My son is with me. Man, I am not here to argue. I just want to talk." Noah looked from his mom to the man. "Noah, Mom, who is that?" "Lena, a person I used to know." The man slid into the booth across from them without asking. He spoke gently, but his words carried pressure. "Man, you did not answer my messages. That is not polite." Across the room, the biker stood up. Not fast, not loud, just sure. He walked toward their booth and stopped a polite distance away. "Biker, ma'am, are you doing all right?" Lena forced a small smile. "Lena, we are fine. Thank you." The man smiled too quickly. "Man, see. Fine. We are catching up." The biker did not challenge him. He looked at Noah instead. "Biker, hey buddy, is your breakfast good?" Noah held his cup with both hands. "Noah, it was good. But my mom is not eating." The biker nodded once. "Biker, thank you for telling me." He turned back to Lena, calm and steady. "Biker, if you want, the manager can come by. No questions, just support." Lena blinked hard and gave the smallest nod she could. The biker stepped away, slow and respectful. He walked to the counter and spoke quietly. His friend moved closer to the door, simply standing there. The man leaned in. "Man, you are making this awkward." Lena took a slow breath. Noah squeezed her hand under the table. And then the manager started walking toward the booth. The manager smiled warmly, like this was a normal check-in. But her eyes met Lena's with quiet understanding. "Manager, hi there. Is everything comfortable for you today?" Lena opened her mouth, then paused, because the answer would change what happened next. Lena looked at the manager and finally spoke. "Lena, we could use a few quiet minutes." "Manager, of course. Take your time." The manager stayed close, not hovering, just present. The diner kept moving. Plates clinked. Coffee poured. The man across the table shifted in his seat. "Man, I think this visit is over." He stood up slowly. Not angry, not loud, just aware that the room had changed. "Man, we can talk another day." Lena nodded. She did not argue. She did not explain. The man walked out. The bell above the door rang once. Then the diner felt lighter. Noah let out a long breath. "Noah, Mom, is he gone?" Lena, yes, he is. Noah smiled and picked up a fry. Noah, good. You should eat now. Lena laughed softly. A small sound, but real. The biker returned to the booth. He kept his hands visible. His voice calm. Biker, I am Eli. This is Mark by the door. We just wanted to be sure you were okay. Lena, thank you for noticing. Eli nodded. Eli, people miss quiet signals sometimes. Noah looked up at him with curiosity. Noah, are you a helper? Eli smiled. Eli, sometimes. Today I guess I am. Mark gave a small wave from where he stood. Mark, you did good speaking up. Noah sat taller at that. Lena felt her chest loosen. For the first time all morning, she took a bite of her food. Lena, I did not know what else to do. Eli, you did exactly enough. They did not stay long. They did not ask questions. They paid for their coffee and nodded goodbye. Before leaving, Eli turned back. Eli, if you ever need support, the manager knows how to reach local help. Good people. Lena, I will remember that. After they left, Noah swung his feet again. Noah, Mom, they were nice. Lena, yes, they were. The rest of the day felt different. Not perfect, but lighter. That afternoon, Lena made a call she had been putting off. She spoke calmly. She asked questions. She wrote notes. The next morning, she met with someone who listened. Not rushed, not judging. A plan started to form. Small steps, clear steps. Weeks passed. The diner became a place of comfort again. A spot for pancakes on Fridays. A place where Noah colored on placemats and laughed too loud. One morning, Noah pointed toward the counter. Noah, Mom, the helpers are back. Eli and Mark sat at the counter again. Same quiet presence. Same calm energy. Lena hesitated, then stood. She walked over with Noah beside her. Lena, I wanted to say thank you again. Eli, you do not owe us anything. Noah held up a drawing. Noah, I made this for you. He showed a diner. 3 stick figures. One very tall. Eli took it carefully. Eli, this might be the best gift I have had all week. Mark nodded. Mark, you two are doing great. Lena felt proud. Not because someone said it, but because she believed it now. That day, she realized something important. Strength does not always shout. Help does not always rush in. Sometimes it notices. Sometimes it waits. Sometimes it simply stands nearby until you are ready. And sometimes, a small signal in a bright diner is enough to begin again. The seasons shifted quietly. Morning light came sooner. Evenings felt calmer. Lena noticed changes in small ways. Bills felt less confusing. Plans felt clearer. Her shoulders did not stay tense all day. Noah noticed too. Noah, Mom, you smile more now. Lena, I think I learned how again. They still went to the diner on Fridays. It became their marker of progress. One pancake at a time. One shared laugh at a time. One afternoon, the manager stopped by their booth. Manager, I wanted to tell you something. Lena looked up. Lena, yes. Manager, we started a little training for staff. Just how to notice when someone might need support. Nothing dramatic. Just awareness. Lena felt her eyes warm. Lena, that means a lot. Manager, you helped more than you know. Later that week, Lena sat at her small kitchen table with papers spread neatly. Not in a rush. Not overwhelmed. Noah colored beside her. Noah, what are those? Lena, steps forward. Noah, are they good steps? Lena, very good ones. He nodded like he understood everything. A month later, the diner hosted a community breakfast. Nothing fancy, just neighbors and familiar faces. Eli and Mark were there again, this time without their vests. Just 2 men drinking coffee. Noah spotted them first. Noah, Mom, our friends. Lena smiled and waved. They waved back. Later, Eli approached with careful respect. Eli, you look well. Lena, I feel well. Eli nodded. Eli, that is the best kind of progress. Noah tugged on Eli's sleeve. Noah, I want to help people when I grow up. Eli crouched slightly. Eli, you already do. You pay attention. Noah thought about that. Noah, then I will keep practicing. Lena placed a hand on her son's shoulder. Her heart felt full. Not loud. Not overwhelming. Just steady. As the morning ended, people lingered. They talked. They listened. They shared stories. Lena realized something important. Her life was not fixed by one moment. It was shaped by many small ones. A signal noticed. A question asked. A pause instead of a push. That was how change happened. That evening, Lena tucked Noah into bed. Noah, Mom. Lena, yes, my love. Noah. If someone looks sad, should I ask them if they are okay? Lena smiled softly. Lena, yes. That can mean everything. He closed his eyes, peaceful and safe. Lena sat in the quiet room for a moment. She thought about how far they had come. Not because someone rescued them, but because someone respected them. She understood now. Kindness does not need to be loud. It does not need to prove itself. It simply shows up. It listens, stays calm, and sometimes it gives a person the space to become strong again. That was the lesson Lena carried forward. Into each day, into each choice. A life rebuilt not by force, but by dignity and by hope. Time moved forward with quiet confidence. Lena no longer measured her days by worry. She measured them by progress. Small wins, calm mornings, evenings filled with stories and shared meals. Noah grew taller. His questions grew deeper. One afternoon, as they walked past the diner, Noah stopped. Noah, Mom, do you remember when we were scared here? Lena paused and knelt beside him. Lena, I remember we were unsure, but I also remember how kind people were. Noah nodded, thinking carefully. Noah, I like how people helped without making a big deal. Lena, me too. That is respect. Inside the diner, familiar faces smiled. The manager waved from behind the counter. The waitress brought extra napkins without being asked. Lena felt something she had not felt in a long time. Belonging. Later that week, Lena was invited to speak at a small community meeting. Nothing formal, just neighbors sharing ideas. She hesitated at first. Then she remembered the raised hand, the quiet signal, the power of being seen. When her turn came, she spoke slowly. Lena, sometimes people do not need fixing. They need space. They need someone to notice. The room listened, not because her voice was loud, but because it was honest. After the meeting, a woman approached her. Woman, thank you. I think I needed to hear that. Lena smiled. Lena, I think we all do. At home, Noah taped his old drawing to the wall. The diner, the tall helper, the three figures standing close. Noah, this is our story. Lena, it is a chapter, a good one. As night settled in, Lena stood by the window. The streetlights glowed softly. No rushing, no pressure. She thought about how kindness had changed everything. Not by solving every problem, but by reminding her who she was. A capable mother, a steady presence, person worthy of respect. The next morning, Lena packed Noah's lunch. She slipped a note inside. It read, "Pay attention. Be kind. You matter." Noah read it later and smiled. That smile was her proof. That growth does not always come from big moments. It comes from gentle ones, repeated daily. Lena understood now. Life does not always give clear signs. But when someone raises a quiet hand, when someone asks a simple question, everything can shift. And so she moved forward, with gratitude, with strength, with hope, because sometimes the bravest thing is not standing out. It is trusting that kindness will meet you halfway. The diner stayed part of their routine, not because of the past, but because of what it represented now. A place where people noticed each other, a place where small moments mattered. One Friday morning, Lena and Noah sat in their usual booth. Sunlight stretched across the table. Noah was drawing again. Lena watched him quietly. She saw confidence in the way he held his pencil, calm in the way he hummed. Noah, Mom, do you think everyone gets help someday? Lena thought before answering. Lena, I think help shows up when people learn how to look for it. And when others learn how to listen. Noah nodded like that made sense. At the counter, the manager trained a new employee. She spoke softly. Manager, always check in. Even a smile can help someone breathe easier. Lena noticed that. She felt proud. Not because she was known, but because something good had continued. After breakfast, Lena and Noah walked outside. The air felt light, clear. Noah skipped ahead, then turned back. Noah, Mom, can I help someone today? Lena smiled. Lena, you already are, just by being kind. Later that afternoon, Lena received an email. A simple one. She had been approved for a better schedule at work. More balance, more time at home. She closed her eyes and breathed out slowly. That night, she cooked dinner while Noah set the table. They worked side by side. Noah, we are a good team. Lena, yes, we are. After dinner, they sat together on the couch. No screens, just quiet. Lena thought about the woman she used to be. Always rushing, always doubting. She was still learning, still growing, but she trusted herself now. Before bed, Noah asked one more question. Noah, Mom, if I see someone with a worried face, what should I do? Lena brushed his hair gently. Lena, you can ask if they are okay. Or you can stay nearby. Both matter. He smiled and closed his eyes. Lena stayed in the doorway for a moment, listening to his calm breathing. She understood something clearly. Her story was no longer about a hard moment. It was about what followed. About learning to pause. Learning to trust quiet support. Learning to grow without fear. Days turned into months. The diner stayed bright. The people stayed kind. And Lena carried the lesson with her everywhere. In meetings, in conversations, in the way she looked at others. She paid attention. She stayed calm. She offered space. Because sometimes the biggest change begins with a small signal. A gentle question. A moment of respect. And when that happens, hope does not rush in. It simply walks beside you. Steady, patient, and kind. The story did not end with applause. It ended with quiet confidence. Lena no longer waited for permission to feel steady. She trusted her own rhythm now. Mornings began with light through the window. Noah tied his shoes by himself. He hummed while he worked. Noah, Mom, I remembered my lunch today. Lena, I noticed. That is growth. They laughed and headed out the door. At work, Lena spoke with calm clarity. She shared ideas. She listened. She asked questions when things felt unclear. People noticed, not because she demanded attention, but because she showed care. One afternoon, a coworker paused beside her desk. Coworker, you have a calming way about you. It helps the whole room. Lena smiled. Lena, I learned it slowly. After school, Noah waited at the kitchen table. He had a paper folded neatly. Noah, I wrote something. Lena sat across from him. Lena, I would love to hear it. Noah read carefully. Noah, when someone looks quiet, it does not mean they are alone. You can sit near them, and that helps. Lena felt tears gather. Gentle ones, full of pride. Lena, that is beautiful. That weekend, they walked past the diner again. The windows glowed warmly. People laughed inside. Noah tugged her sleeve. Noah, that place helped us change. Lena nodded. Lena, yes, but you helped too. Noah looked surprised. Noah, me. Lena, you reminded me to be brave in a gentle way. They stood there for a moment, then kept walking. At home that night, Lena wrote in a notebook. Just a few lines. She wrote about patience, about listening, about how dignity grows when it is shared. She realized something important. Kindness is not a single act. It is a habit. It shows up in questions, in pauses, in choosing respect over rush. Before bed, Noah asked one last thing. Noah, Mom, do you think we are okay now? Lena tucked the blanket around him. Lena, yes. And if things get hard again, we will notice, and we will ask, and we will move forward. Noah smiled and closed his eyes. Lena turned off the light and stood in the quiet. She felt strong, not because everything was perfect, But because she knew how to meet the day, her story was not about fear. It was about learning, not about being saved, but about being seen. And as she stepped into tomorrow, she carried the lesson with her. Stay kind, stay aware, stay human, because sometimes the smallest signal can lead to the biggest change.